three brilliant voices sitting on our sofa as well today. The Everly Brothers and also Cyndi Lauper. Hello again, Cyndi. Now, opera, do you like opera?
Well, yeah, I've been trained through opera, an operatic style. And of course, my grandmother would have liked me to sing opera.
Grandmothers always would.
Yeah.
Is that partly where you get your amazing range then? Because you have a 4-octave voice, don't you?
Well, on good days. I actually learned, I studied vocal therapy, which was developed through a teacher who taught opera. And what it is basically is, you know, the opera singers, they matrix their songs, which means they exercise through a song, so that when when they get to the song, all the notes are worked into their muscles, and then they can sing it with ease. For me, I had to learn, you know, how to sing where people had these 200-watt Marshalls. I mean, I know you guys, you know, and you know, you got a little box that's got like a 50-inch, you know, I forgot what it's called. It's a different hat. Yeah. You know, it's not powered by much. You know, 50-watt driver for a horn, you know, and a little 12-inch speaker, and it's not driven by as much as the amplifiers, and your voice changes when it goes through a microphone. So there was electronic singing to learn, and then the first 3 nights I'd have a great range. After that,
no, it's not actually as simple as just getting up on stage and singing, is it? Because on your voice, as well as having the range, it has a variety in it. I mean, you can be soft and gravelly, or I mean,
it gives me
and then
freedom.
really punch it out.
Yeah, it gives me freedom. I could do all that stuff and still maintain my voice.
But at one time, you lost that voice, didn't you?
Yeah, that's why I learned. Yeah.
And that was just through stress or through singing in some smoky halls? Or?
Singing like this, you know, with everybody saying, "Hey kid, listen to me, have a shot of Southern Comfort. Joplin did this, kid. Yeah. This is what Joplin did." And I used to say, "But Joplin's dead." You know, and they'd be like, "Nah, I'm telling you, you don't know what you're talking about. You can't train your voice, you'll ruin it." You know, so I listened, and then I fell flat on my face, and you know, and of course you go to the doctors and they tell you, "Miss Lauper, you must not sing this rock and roll. You know, this is bad for you." You know, so I was like, you know, you always walk out of the doctor's office like, this is the end of my life, you know, because there was nothing else for me. So, you know, I hired a girl to take my place, and she kept her range. So I said, you know, what do you do? And she recommended that I go see her teacher, which was the only woman that I met who would teach rockers. Now, I used to come in, they used to say, "Well, sing a song for me." So I'd sing, you know, a Led Zeppelin song, and then I'd sing like a smooth song, and then he'd say to me, "Well, kid, come back when you stop singing rock music," you know.
So you sorted the voice out, and that obviously, I mean, for a singer, that's vitally important, but also image. How important has your image been to your success, do you think?
Oh, well, I know it's helped me a lot, but I get into that stuff. I mean, of course, I studied all the original rockers, and I studied your music and your look and well, a lot of stuff comes from your work. Not just me, but I mean, the people that I studied sounded a lot like you, you know. So, but the image, you know, like the suits that you wore, the haircuts and things like that, in some of the earlier bands, you know, I had...
Cyndi, there's your...
Well, no, I didn't. That wasn't your look, guys. No, I knew you weren't going in for that yellow and blue lips look.
I like that look, guys.
So it could look good on you, though. I mean, you know...
that underkilt might look quite good.
That was a stunning look. But see, in that time period, that was when people were saying, you know, I think I started doing that because I had done a photo shoot, and I said, "Well, gee, can't you lift it up a little so it's more radical?" And then she said to me, "No, I think that's really corny." So, you know, she was kind of obnoxious. So I figured, well, if it got up her nose, just think of all the people I can irritate. So then I started doing this, and it became a whole anti-fashion thing. And when anti-fashion became fashion, it was, well, that idea was to take something, well, that's an antique dress, but to make it like, yeah, make it like high trash. You know what I mean?
Trash.
Well, no, like
Cyndi, I'm glad you
something
said
old and no, it's something old and classy next to like peeling walls, old mirrors, and things like that. You know, I just thought it was, you know, that artsy stuff.
I wouldn't mind a copy of that photo.
Calm down, Phil.
I think our style became, we had different shirts, different ties, different jackets, and we got tired of calling each other, what are you going to wear tonight? So now it's basic black tuxedo and a black tie.
Yes, it's easy to have
It's real easy. I know what he's going to wear every
Actually,
time.
we went down to Nudies in California because we thought we might change things, you know, this year.
Nudies?
We know Nudies from when we were kids, you know, like a Western
Used to make a
costume.
Western, I wasn't sure if it was an adult
Make
show.
clothes for Hank Williams. Used to make clothes for Hank Williams.
And
like
we
that.
tried on a gold lampade coat, and we got to laughing because he said you couldn't sing without laughing.
I said I couldn't sing in this suit.
Although we thought you'd see out naturists or something. Nudies.
Nudies is
a store.
He made all the cowboys things that you see, all that the glitter.
He made he was the first
Western
glitter cowboy suit. He made the suits that Hank Williams wore and Lefty Frizzell and all the great Grand Ole Opry stars back
And
in,
the other people y'all.
in the 50s.
Good old Opry. Actually, Cyndi was talking about the problems that she at one stage had with her voice. Have you ever had not just so much the voice, but a night? Do you have nights when you know, right, this isn't a good night? This is not going well, I don't feel right. Do you ever get that?
That happens.
But it happens because there's two of us, too, you know. You might have a good night and I'll have a bad
We can cover
one, you
each
know?
other sometimes.
I was going to say, does that
really
make
good.
it easier?
Makes it easier.
One of you helps the other.
Yeah, it probably does. It keeps the audience from
Our training,
knowing
we started off in show business, we were singing from flatbed trucks with no monitors. And so we never, I mean, monitors was such a pleasure to when all of a sudden, I never heard of them. You know, so you have monitors and things, and it made life so much easier. And it seemed to have gotten really easy the last few years.
Yeah. We should actually check out with Cyndi, because, I mean, I got, I don't know, 8 Everly Brothers things in my record covers. Did you listen to these guys? And do you?
Oh, yeah.
Because they're classic records.
Yeah, Let It Be Me. I taught that to this kid who, my co-producer, I co-produce a lot, and this guy, Lenny Pizzi, who signed me, was remarried, I told you before, and they wanted to walk down the aisle to that song, and the daughter played it on her piano. She was just a little kid, but, I mean, they used to listen to your stuff.
That's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous.
It's a beautiful song.
You guys did some gorgeous work. Really gorgeous.
Would you think, Cyndi, that we always think of Cathy's Clown as the classic of your... do you feel that? Cathy's Clown has to be one of the greats, doesn't it?
Well, I know, but see, I don't know.
I don't know if she remembers it. She's too young.
No, I loved Walk Right Out with...
Walk Right Back. Which you just seen,
the one that I just saw, I liked. And, you know, I've been writing with Billy Steinberg and Tom Kelly, and they're, like, huge, huge, huge fans of yours. In fact, for a while on their answering machine, they would sing one of your songs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they just... I mean, a lot of people love you. I don't know if you realize
I'm
that.
glad some friends of yours actually exposed us to you.
No, I'm not saying that. I mean, I came up when I said, oh, gee, you guys are really,
I enjoy your music a lot. I love the movies you've done, and the videos.
Well,
wonderful.
you
I love the way you
one of
dress,
the
too.
only guys that...
No, I do. I really like
But
it.
Cyndi, I mean, you talk about guys like you are very, in a way, you've created an anthem for a lot of women with your Girls Just Want to Have Fun. I mean, that really...
That's wonderful.
It says something to a lot of people.
It really is.
Well, yeah, it's a mark spot, too. You know, there are some records mark things, you know, and I think that's a mark spot in which things go on from, new attitudes start from songs.
That's right. Were you surprised by the success of that, Cyndi? Can you predict the success when you do something, or
No.
difficult to tell?
I mean, I gotta admit, when I was doing Girls Just Want to Have Fun, at first, the kind of song it wasn't like what I was singing. In fact, when I first heard it, I listened to it and I walked out of the club and I said, hey, I ain't singing that song. That's the chauvinist song. I ain't singing that song. And then the producer came up to me and said, listen to me, but think of what it could be, and then work from there. And so, okay. So we worked on the song, It took many different shapes, and then all of a sudden, it was what it was, you know? Because these guys I worked with were really into reggae, you know? And I liked that 60s thing, and I asked them to play different things, and I sang a different thing to the chords of that song, and it just happened. But We didn't know if it was going to happen.
I love that. I love that. So time after time.
Oh, you like
That's
that?
Time After Time.
I love that one.
That's my favorite.
Which incidentally
so
has
good.
been recorded, and I got it home, by the great Miles Davis, which is a tremendous tribute to you, Cyndi.
That's beautiful.
Not that you need tributes.
Yeah.
It's one of those times when, you know, we really don't want to say goodbye. Sadly, we got to. Other programmes jostling in the queue behind us. But Cyndi, good luck in
Thank
the future.
you. Thank
And,
you. You guys
Best of luck to A Night to Remember in your
you.
album, too.
Yeah, and Some Hearts we got here as well. Don't Worry, Baby. Beach Brothers. Good luck with the tour as well.
Thank you so much.
Good to meet you, Don and Phil.
Good to meet
Nice
all
to
of
meet
you.
you.